Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new, welcome. If you are not new, welcome back. Today I'm actually going to be talking about something that I think is very important for all of us budgeters is our emergency fund. So this is kind of going to be, well, it's not kind of, it is a mock emergency fund setup. I will be doing one later on showing you guys how I have everything set up and how I'm tracking and what my goals are and things of that sort. But I wanted to go over this because it kind of like struck me as I'm doing this video. My husband lost his job and then also got a job at the same time. And so we're probably going to go a whole month without having a like income from him. And that's when it really hit me that like, man, I really wish I had more money in my emergency fund. Now we will be okay, and all of those things. But this really, I have been thinking about it since, the state of our economy and things like that. But like, I wasn't in a big rush. And now I am changing gears and kind of just making sure that I'm continuing to focus on the most important things and so forth. We live in a house, we have a child, and it's not like it was like back in the day where it was just like our bills amount was a lot less and we can go a lot further and things of that sort. So I wanted to share this with you guys. And, if you've lost your job or you think that you may lose your job, I know a lot of people are, getting laid off and things like that. If you can even start preparing to have an extra $500 or $1,000 saved up, something is better than nothing. Okay. So we're first going to start off with just the thing, like what a 1 month emergency fund would look like for us if for some reason none of us were getting income at all. So we are going to start off with these bills. These are the bills that we would continue to pay if we lost our income, which is the things that we currently pay now. So I'm just acting as if like it was right now, and this is just what we needed to budget for. So the first thing is daycare, and we would be budgeting about $997 for daycare. That's what it costs now. And although it does change, the higher class she goes into, it gets a little bit less expensive. Next would be our natural gas, and our natural gas is only like really high for maybe 2 or 3 months out of the year. Anything after that, it is under $50. So I'm going to budget $50 for our natural gas. Next is going to be our utilities. So that is water, trash, sewer, and our exorbitant tax fees that we have here in Texas. So I kind of we use our sprinklers a lot, and kind of just based off the information, I just budgeted $200. We'll see this year what it looks like, but last year it was super hot. We eventually got to a point where we weren't even able to use our sprinklers because we were on water restriction. So I think budgeting $200 and then just being mindful of the amount of water we're using in our home, I think $200 could be a good fit for us. Next is going to be our internet, and that is at 8606, and this is just a fixed amount. We would need our internet for, applying for jobs. I'm doing YouTube. I'd be able to do a little bit more YouTube and try and make, some money off of that and things of that sort. But we would keep our internet. Next is our YouTube TV. This is like, literally, we could get rid of everything else that my husband would be paying or pays for. I mean, we have Netflix, and he could get rid of that, but YouTube TV gives us everything. And so we would keep that in our budget at 9503. Next would be our electricity. We are really good at, being mindful of our electric use. And I think maybe last year we had 2 times that we went over $200, but I would budget about $150 for our electricity. And then ADT, which is our security system, is fixed at 5514. So we're going to add all of this up. So 997 plus 50 plus 200 plus 8606 plus 9503 plus 150 plus 5514 brings us to a total $1,633.23. Okay, so that is what all of our like fixed bill expenses would look like. Now down to our envelopes. We still have to eat and things of that sort. I would still budget $400, maybe even $300, just depending on groceries, because we would for sure be eating at home and not buying anything out on the road. I would keep our gas at $200 because I don't know. I know we would probably be trying to drive to, what is it called? Driving to interviews. And then this 200 would also be covering for my husband to be driving as well too. Currently, he pays his own gas out of his own personal money. So normally this is just the budget I use for me, but we both wouldn't be driving back and forth if both of us lost our job, but this would just be enough for the both of us for a month. And I just want to say these numbers are for a 1 month situation. Next is household, and I would keep it at $150. We still have $70 that would come out of this for our lawn care. It's $35 every time they come out here, and then the rest of the money would be used for anything such as like diapers for baby girl, if we needed to get like anything important like AC filters or just like small little things. Granted, we would just be mindful and, stretch everything, but I would still keep my household budget at $150 at least for the month, and then we can gauge whether we can use less and budget less for the following months or something like that. Next would be spending, and I would not budget anything for spending, and I would not budget anything for eating out because we are trying to use the least amount of money because we don't know how long we would be expecting to be out, whether, it may not be a job loss. It may be, having a baby and you're on maternity leave and income is less or anything like that. So, we're doing this here. And also you can use your emergency fund for other things. Like it doesn't necessarily have to be, loss of income. Something could have happened and, you have to get a new vehicle. Maybe you take that money to purchase a new vehicle out of here. But a lot of the times I think it's good to base your emergency fund off of your living expenses, because I think some of the time when you're getting into using your emergency fund, it's because it's like a dire emergency. So that is just my opinion. So now we're going to add up these envelopes. And so we have 400 plus 200 plus 150, and that brings us to $750. So we'll add the 750. It won't be rollover, but 750 plus 1633.23 puts us at $2,383.23. Now we are going to go over, this is not extra debt, but this would just be what our debt situation looks like right now. Now, I know some people would say like, don't include your mortgage in debt. And I really don't when I'm thinking about like paying off debt. But the way that I have my new budget system set up on my Excel sheet, it sits under our debt situation. So yeah. So our mortgage currently is $2,240.49. Hopefully we don't have these bills, but this is just based on right now. We're putting $100 towards our Discover card, and then we do have a water treatment system, and we would be budgeting $108, okay? So when you do 2240.49 plus 208, that puts us at $2,448.49. Okay, and we're gonna add plus 2383 to that, and that brings us to 4,000, I wish, $831.72. Now I am going to put here miscellaneous, and this is not extra savings, of course, but any other things that may pop up, just having that like extra little cushion. Maybe our bills are more than what we expected, and I am actually just gonna put $100 here, y'all. Okay. And so when we add that $100, that would bring our total for the month at $4,931.72. Okay. And I'm looking at did I add this correctly, yo? Because, hold on just a second. I'm looking at my cheat sheet, and the cheat sheet doesn't match this. So 1633.23 plus 750 plus 2448.72. Okay, I think I was doing the math wrong. So plus this $100 brings us to a total of $4,931.72. So for a 1 month emergency fund, this is what I would need. Okay, so currently I am just saving $1,500 for just like a small baby miniature start off emergency fund. And then my goal for 2025 would be to get a full month's worth of bills and expenses as my emergency fund. And then for 3 times my emergency fund, if we take this times 3, that would bring us to $495.85, which I would just say if we get to 15 or to get to 15,000, and that would make me have 3 times my bills and expenses. I do want to say, whenever you're looking at your emergency fund, there are a couple of different ways to look at your emergency fund. You can do it the way that I'm doing it, which is basing it off of your expenses, which I think is a little bit more accurate, because the second way you can do it is you can do it based off of income. And let's just say you're behind or you don't already make enough. That may hurt you if you're not able to pay all of your bills. So for like my household account right now, we don't bring in a full amount of money currently because we're paying off our debt out of our personal accounts. And so we keep a buffer in our checking account and use that to offset the difference each month. So for us, if we just saved our income, we would need to save more income because we wouldn't be able to cover all of our bills and expenses. So there are different ways to look at your emergency fund, and this is just a way that I am looking at it and looking at our goals. I will be sharing another video at another time on how I'm going to set up my emergency fund, like little binder and stuff like that, and how I plan on reaching these goals little by little and getting to this 15-month mark at some point in our lives. Still, while paying off debt and things of that sort, it's so important to have this emergency fund because you never know what's going to happen. One day everything is good, the next day it is not. And just with this slight adjustment in our lives really opened that up for me because I knew it was always important. We've had this happen, even to me back in, I think it was 2020 when I, lost my job. At that time, I did not have any credit card debt. And so I just had, my income and I was able, to find a job in 2 weeks and I was good to go. But still, it is so important to have an emergency fund. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next one.